Well, Scorpio, it's another month. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au, and that month is July 2016, with some important news for you. As far as your ruling planet, or one of them, Mars has moved direct. Well, it's in its stationary position, ready to move direct. And being one of your significant ruling planets, that's important. Being in your sun sign of Scorpio now, giving you that thrust forward that may have been very, very delayed over the last few months. We've been talking about this for a year or so, how, for many of you born under Scorpio, there have been so many delays, some problematic relationships. That could still be an issue with the opposition aspect of that Mars to the moon in your seventh house. Marital relationships could be a little bit topsy-turvy. You need to be in more control. That has been the case with Saturn in your second house. Unknown to a lot of astrologers and lay people, Saturn in the second house, that second house having to do with speech and controlling a lot of the, the energies associated with speech and how you actually talk to others. So that control is going to assist you in any sort of dealings, not just your personal relationships, but your business relationships as well. The other important thing this month is the transit of the Sun, Mercury and Venus in your ninth house, which is your house of higher mind, legal matters, and also travels. For some of you, there could be a lot of traveling going on, at least a lot of movement, and we see on the 5th the new moon taking place in that area, which brings with it some exciting new trends and developments. Fresh new projects, new study courses, new ideas that you can start to work on, and that can be either for pleasure or for business. We see that that new moon is often a precursor to the start of new things. For some of you, that could actually have to do with a journey, a foreign journey, or something that you're planning as a means of escape. For those of you who are more spiritually inclined, this ninth house new moon is an important one. It can show a shift away from the traditional teachings or teachers to some new teacher or teaching. This could be an expansion of your philosophical views, a taking on board of some new ideas that you maybe previously wouldn't have entertained. So that's all exciting stuff as well. Mind you, those planets, Venus and Mercury, moving rather quickly. If I look at the chart, I see, for example, that Mercury moves out of the ninth house into your career sector, and that takes place on July 14th. And Venus also moves into that 10th house 2 days earlier. So there's going to be a distinct shift. So if you're planning these ideas, it could well be that these two very beneficial planets activating this 10th house of profession and career make you a lot more popular. You have your ups and your downs. The business cycle is no different to any other cycle. It has its ups and downs. And right now, with those two planets moving into the 10th house, we see an upward movement to your professional activities, making you popular, giving you the ability to, sway people with your ideas and to forge some new partnerships, which is also shown by that moon transiting the 7th house as the month commences. There are some other aspects taking place there because Venus is moving rather quickly. It'll move out of the 10th house by the 31st, showing us the profitability of these ventures is likely to start probably not till the end of the month or early into the month of August. But it does make some aspects that's showing us that from the 5th, your creativity and spiritual insights are at an all-time high, with that trine aspect to Neptune in your 5th house. 5th house being the house of children or your inner child, speculation, and just a competitive edge. You may have lost a bit of that competitive edge over the last few months. Sometimes when life gives you a few knocks, it takes you a while to get back up on your feet. Not that you won't get back up, it just maybe a little bit longer. But now you're ready and rearing to go. And these aspects are really fundamentally very, very good for the coming couple of months. There is another aspect there you need to watch. I've mentioned this to a couple of the other star signs. That's the square aspect from Mercury, which is forming up to the 27th. Just before that, on the 20th, we see a full moon in your third house, very close to the planet Pluto. So that's going to activate your energies to really push forward your ideas. It's also a caution to not, I suppose, talk down to people. There's possibly a perception of arrogance in the way you deal with others just now. And that's understandable because you're getting your confidence back during these cycles. But maintain a little bit of that humility, and that's going to help you. Unfortunately, on the financial side of things, things are still going to have to be managed in a very frugal manner. That's due to that transit of Saturn in the second house. And that's going to continue. You've probably developed a habit there, even though Jupiter and the North Node are in your 11th house, showing that you are due now to start to see an increase in your profitability in your business, in your work, some increased income. That's more for independent business owners rather than those of you who work for a salary. But you'll be pushing harder there when Mars moves out of the sun sign you're born under. That will happen next month. We'll be talking more about that next time around. So the full moon there also shows a unique and interesting skew to your communication style. There are some changes to the patterning of your thinking now. That, of course, happens as a consequence of the events that occur in life. And I think you are starting to learn some significant lessons because of what's happened in the last year or two. So now is the time when that full moon starts to shine the light on those lessons, and more importantly, how you're going to implement those lessons in similar scenarios that start to emerge in your life. So that's a very, very good thing. The last transit of the month is, as I said, that Mercury moving into your 11th house of profits. That's when you start to see things really starting to shake and move. And there is another one on the 17th, which is the transiting Mercury conjunct the transiting Venus. And that is a really, really nice effect for you in your working life. You could make some new friends, get new clients, and all in all start to feel much, much more comfortable about your professional experience. I hope you'll join me again next month. Don't forget, astrology.com.au is where you can get a more detailed